Hello and welcome to the 52nd episode on Sadhana World Foundation. As you know, we care about crafting young lives. We present stories from our folktales and lessons in history anchored on moral values. We think that these stories carry tremendous amount of teaching for our young children and adults which they can inculcate into their own lives day to day and emerge as stronger and better human beings. In one of our past episodes, we spoke about thinking too much and feeling too little. We talked about compassion as a subject. It's definitely a great quality to be able to discover the other person's pain, listen to the other person's pain, and think of ways of helping the other person. But the question is that do you always come forward to help the other person when the person is in pain? Let's take the example of a student who's struggling in a particular subject. The person doesn't have interest about that particular subject, but as our academic standards are, you have to pass that particular paper in the exam. So the person has no interest to study that particular chapter or the lessons or that particular course. The student doesn't want to take help from friends in understanding or from other tutors in understanding the concept. The person is definitely in problem, in difficulty, and is seeking others' help. Some people offer their shoulders to cry over. Some people lend their ears to listen to the problem. Some people come forward with some comforting words and give that student possibly some false hope that everything will be all right, this will pass away, and so on. But what's actually required? If we think from the angle of compassion, then we are asking this person who's offering help to actually feel the other person's pain and sympathize, do something to pull this person out of this problem. But what do? This person is seeking help during the exam. This person is asking his friend during the exam to help give him the answers so that he can write in the exam paper and somehow pass that exam. Basically, this is not a moral act. This is not within the bounds of the rules for the exam. So question is whether you become compassionate towards your friend. While we have said that compassion is a great quality, but does it mean that you bend the rules, you ignore the rules, you commit another immoral act? Definitely not so. If we dip into some of the lessons in our folktales, we would see that what has happened. Let me describe one such folktale. This is drawn from the Ramayana. When the battle or the war between Ram's army and Ravan's army got over, Ravan got killed and his entire army, he almost perished. The kingdom was in the control of Lord Ram. That time Hanuman went to Ashokavan where Sita was kept as a hostage and delivered this good news of Ram's victory to Sita. Sita was happy to hear this, extremely delighted to hear this. As those days the prevalent norms were, Sita said, Hanuman, you have brought a good news to me. What do you want? Ask for a boon and I will grant that. Hanuman was extremely angry with the people who had kept Sita hostage, kept her away from Ram and other people of the family for so many years. And Hanuman said that I seek your permission to kill the guards who have been guarding you all these years. While you have been in Ravan's custody, these people have troubled you a lot. They have not taken good care of you. I want to finish all of them. But see what Sita says in this. Sita says that it is none of their fault. The pain that I went through, the trouble that I went through, I had to go through because of whatever reason. But they are not the cause of my pain. Even if they are, they did whatever they did as per the instruction of their ruler, of their master. So they are not at fault. We have to just let them be whatever they want to do. They have done their duty. We don't have to take revenge in this way. So see the lesson here, embedded here, that Sita is teaching a lesson of compassion to Hanuman. You see the other person's pain, but how do you address this pain? Not by doing another immoral act. So the example that I was giving about the student who is not liking a particular course and hasn't done any preparation, doesn't want to attend the lectures, and all of that is seeking the solution to come out of the pain, come out of the trouble by taking help from his friend in an immoral way, in an unjust way. That's not the right way to go about it. The similar kind of situations we see day to day in our lives. You are going on the road, you meet with an accident, none of your mistakes. What do? You are in pain, you are in trouble. What do? Do you blame everyone else? Do you blame the government? Do you blame the police? Do you blame the co-travelers? It just happened. You have parked your car. Somewhere a stone comes and falls on your glass and the glass breaks. You have financial loss. Maybe you have other kinds of loss as well. What do? Do you throw another stone at the car which is parked nearby and break those windshields? Yeah, it addresses your anger, but is that the right thing to do? Definitely not. So, the point about thinking too much and feeling too little has to be done within a particular boundary. The boundary of norms, rules, discipline. Compassion is a great quality. It's about listening to someone's problem, tuning in to someone's difficulty, extending an arm to help that person. Great quality. But all of this has to be done within the boundaries of law or the rule or what's right and what's wrong. Moral standards are the ultimate benchmark which one has to meet. If you think of empathy as a quality, then you are expected to feel what the other person is feeling. If the other person is feeling sad and you are empathetic towards that person, you will feel the same degree of sadness. If the other person is feeling happy and you are empathetic to that person, you will feel the same degree of happiness. In the process of being empathetic to someone, you might commit acts which are similar to what that person is thinking. In this example of the folktale from Ramayana, the anger, the frustration of Hanuman and the exuberance of having won over the forces in Lanka brought up a thought in his mind that he can win, he can kill the gods who have brought trouble to Sita in the past. If Sita would have been empathetic to Hanuman, she would have also felt the same emotions that Hanuman was going through and would have let that act happen, which would not have been the right thing to do. And if I am empathetic to my friend who's struggling in his studies, I won't mind extending an arm of help, even if it is immoral. That's wrong. So it is compassion is a greater quality than empathy. We have to be compassionate. We have to help other people while they are in difficulty. It's an intense lesson, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We look forward to our future conversations. Thank you very much.